that the boys are on the front row and will be leading proceedings as we are under starters' orders.
Yeah, he was on espresso, of course, so now it's time to get that espresso working. It's now time to make sure that the caffeine and adrenaline all work together. Lights are on. Oh, I don't know, that might have been a little bit of a jump start there from Slamet. I'll have to keep an eye on that one, but it certainly looked like he moved before the lights did, and Slamet gets the whole shot. That's the reason why. It's the portable shade Kawasaki's that are 2 and 3. Isaacs goes around the outside of Dylan White. He'll try and hold the inside line for turn 2. White is going to force him wide. He does that. Isaacs cuts across. Looks for a different line going into engine corner, but up his inside comes Heron. Heron is late on the brakes and bombs up the inside. We have Kawasaki's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The lone BMW fights things out in amongst the green machinery at the front. Here's got the jump, and there's a good possibility. I'm going to have to wait and see to get confirmation on that, Goose. But I have to say, dude, there is a possibility of a jump start there for the Baron.
I don't know, Greg. For me, it looked as if some of the guys were actually not even ready. It seems as if the lights went quicker than expected. But we'll just have to wait and see what the clock of the course goes. As the guys make their way onto the back straight, it is still the man himself, number 1 in the lead, all the way down to the hairpin.
Well, he's in second at the moment. In the lead is the Red Baron. So it's Lance Isaacs sitting in 5th place behind the 4 Kawasaki's, looking for a way through. But 1 and 2, the Baron and, of course, Evil Knievel. Seller and Slamet. This is the battle we expected. Brent Harris a little bit off the pace right now. He's going to find a way past Dylan White. And Dylan White right now is actually doing his teammate a huge favour. He's keeping the rest of the field at bay and not allowing anybody to come and interfere with what is a battle royal for second place on the track right now.
No, Greg, you're certainly right. Battle royal is certainly setting up at this moment in time with Slamet being led as we go into the engine corner side of things. Boys laying it out, showcasing that, hey, this is the big manner, big boys.
That's what it's all about in SuperGP, that's for sure. So the 2 lead riders pulling a small gap, and across the line it was only 1,000 to say. Oh, wow, Seller! Thanks for coming into Discover Digital Sweep and just bombs up the inside of the Red Baron, drops the hammer and says, I'm out of here. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Now the Red Baron had a bit of a wiggle just prior to that bend, Greg, and of course Seller just decided to take advantage of that opportunity and leading the position as we see.
Yeah, Isaac's on the outside. Look at him.
Spinning it, trying to stay with the boys.
Looking at the different
Black
lines.
Knight behind him.
Isaac's taking some slightly different lines into turn 5 there, trying to find a different line out, trying to get a better drive. Remember, he's going to try and fight things out. There are 4 Kawasaki's. He's the only BMW on track right now, and he is pushing that energy BMW to its limit. Behind him, it's Nicholas van der Walt. He leads out the Yamaha Challenge. He's in 5th place. It's a good ride there from the youngster. And it's whoa! Thanks for coming, Lance Isaacs.
Fantastic slide in
Hello,
there.
Brent Harron. Holes Hook is my corner. Let me show you how to go through turn 1 properly. Wow, we've seen some epic dices between Harron and Isaacs in 600s in the past. And now they're on the liter machines, and these things certainly do not give you any room for mistakes.
No, there's no room for error, Greg.
Wow.
You're certainly right. The boys have to know exactly what they're doing, pin the machine exactly where they need it to be, and watch out for the wiggly spiggly.
Indeed. Right, so Isaacs is certainly the man on the move right now as we see the rest of the field streaming through and heading down to Discover Digital. They're in Monster Momsbury sweep right now. It's a double right-hander, and Isaacs certainly has got some hot lines through there. He closes in on Dylan White. Can he get close enough to beat him on the brakes? Look at Isaacs dive to the inside. He is using what I said to you with the wind, using the wall to try and block the wind slightly. Then he comes back across the circuit, hard on the brakes on the outside of the corner, squares it off, and now tries to look for the drive out of Cape Town corner.
Well, it's still Seller leading the Red Baron himself all the way through as they make their way towards the start-finish line. It's them heading onto their 3rd lap, Greg. Plenty of action, it seems as if, and we wonder as to where the boys have the answer for.
Portable shade Kawasaki got out of shape there, but I've got to say, Dylan White didn't expect that. You saw him set up very, very quickly. He looked down at the front wheel. He wasn't expecting that kind of thing under braking, so keep an eye on that. There could be a possibility of a problem on the second of the portable shade Kawasaki's. White is on the back of that machine and under pressure from Isaacs.
There we go, and Isaacs goes in.
There is a problem there. He cannot turn the bike in. There's a
Greg.
serious issue on that bike. Maybe it's got a slow puncture. Maybe he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure as he turns in. It's on the left-handers that he's feeling it. So let's see what happens now. Harron comes out of a big right-hand sweep. Look at that! Oh, there's a massive problem on that bike.
Definitely.
Dylan White is
all the way out.
He's fighting that bike big time, no doubt about it. Watch for the drive now. On the back straight, Harron, the Black Knight, will pull out and probably get past Dylan White. They come through, they're almost
There
one
it is.
bike, he comes
Yeah.
through. White has got a
hand.
massive problem. Look at him, he's adjusting things on the right, so something has gone wrong on Dylan White's bike, and he's fallen by the
And he's
wayside.
slowing down.
What a pity there for the gambler.
It is certainly a great pity, Greg. He was looking good for a good run today, but
Hand up.
unfortunately for him, he's hand out, and he's certainly coming off the circuit.
Gambler is out of it, so unfortunately the cards didn't fall his way this time out. Brent Herron comes up on the brakes late into turn one, closing in on Isaacs. He had to try and find a way past the slowing Dylan White, which has given him a small advantage to try and make up now on Lance Isaacs. Isaacs fortunately had that maneuver done and dusted before
Correct.
White had the problem, so it's now up to the Black Knight to close in on Lancelot.
Well,
the Red Baron and Evil Knievel still lead things out though. No changes for 1 to 4, other than the fact that we've lost out Dylan White out of race 1.
Which is a great pity, Greg, but as you said, the action still remains on the track. There's plenty to still come through as we've just gone through lap number 4 and building up to what's the conclusion of this wonderful race. It's still early days, and clearly the likes of the Black Knight as well as Lance will be trying to get to the leaders, Red Baron as well as Sella, just to give them a bit of a hustle as they head on to what's the conclusion of this wonderful race.
One thing we've got to take into account is, remember, this is the first time Super GP's come to the circuit, so there will definitely be new lap records set so far. And in fact, looking at the last lap time out of Clinsella, 1 minute 11.486, certainly a lot quicker than anybody else out there. And I can tell you that Isaacs, I think, is going to have to do some serious work to try and catch this man. He is looking pretty tasty. Robert Portman in a vice of his own there, you can see, fighting out with Brandon Good. It's Nicholas van der Volta, his teammate, who is giving Garrick Flock a serious run for his money and closing in on Gerrit Visser. It's a nice little three-way dice there. And that, of course, right now is for what is 4th, 5th and 6th place on track, now that we've lost Dylan White and the second Portable Shade Kawasaki.
Which is a great pity, but nonetheless, there's action aplenty throughout the field. Lots of everybody just pretty much making their way through.
He's back.
Slicing. There's someone who's back.
Dylan White making his way back again. So whatever the problem was, he must have pulled onto the sideline, sorted it out. I don't know how he was able to do that.
Hey! There's still something wrong with that bike.
What is going on with that bike? You know what it is? I think there's a good possibility it might be the steering damper. The steering damper might have gone on that bike, and now he's having to fight it all on his own. So having to use some brute strength to keep that massive ZX10 power under check. And whether he's able to do that
for the whole remainder of the race, Rick, it's going to be very difficult.
He's a fit young man, but whether he can fight that bike for another, what are we looking at, 10 laps when they cross the line this time?
Certainly.
Whoa. He is in a battle royal, not only with the competitors on the track, but with his own motorcycle too. Look at the lead that Sellers pulled out though, dude. Comes across the line. We were looking at 3.007 seconds over second place Ronald Slammett. And right now, wow, it's a huge amount. And certainly not, 3.009 now. So he's certainly, but it's to Lance Isaacs. I don't think they're picking up Ronald Slammett for whatever reason. Maybe his transponder's not working, but Slammett's bike not coming up on our timing monitor and being registered, but he's certainly still sitting in second place.
Certainly, as you can see, also the Black Knight has kind of slightly moved forward towards Lance and is approaching him, and will be probably lining him up to see as to whether he can make his way through. These two battled quite a big battle at Red Star early on in the season, and they battled for first and second, and
yes, indeed.
Herron came out victorious, and Lance had to take the spoils, but this time round I know that he's looking very hungry for a podium finish to get back into the championship and pretty much chase down what seems to be a dominant display by Clinton Sella at this moment in time. But it's still early days, Greg.
It's still early days. We've still got a long way to go in this championship. We're only at round 3 here at the Western Cape SuperGP. But the way that Isaacs and Slammett are going, and the way that Brent Herron is improving every time he's been, remember this is his first season on the 1000cc. The other two riders have had a couple of seasons on board the Lita class. So look out for the youngster. He's certainly going to be in contention.
Well, it seems as if it's going to be a battle for second place at this moment in time, with Roland in leading the pack of 3. That is Lance as well as Brent Herron. As I mentioned, look, this is still early days, so probably Brent Herron will be lining up and looking for a way around Lance, who definitely won't be making it easy for him to get through.
I have to agree. It's not going to be easy, but it certainly is getting easier. No. Look at how Herron is closing on Isaacs. In that last lap, he's made up and he's... Oh, and Isaacs is behind him. He knew there was a problem.
There's something going on there.
Isaacs with a major problem coming out of the Discover Digital sweep, and now into Monster Monfrey is the Black Knight all over the back of Lancelot. Looking for a way past. Can he find it down that back straightaway? Lance climbs under the bubble. Tries to get as much aerodynamics out of that BMW as he can. But the Kawasaki is good. Not quite good enough on the brakes just yet. But he's certainly looking You know what he's doing there? He's just applying pressure. He's just applying
saying,
pressure.
hey, Lance,
Similar
I'm
thing
around.
to what he did at Red Star Raceway.
Exactly.
And Isaacs, I think, is feeling it.
Yeah, no, certainly he is squeaking out of the corners at this moment in time. Perhaps that could be the telltale sign for Brent to say, hey, maybe if I tie him down a little bit, force him into an error, I might be able to go through cleanly. Which is exactly, as you said, Greg, what we saw earlier on, as we see Lance just going slightly wide in turn 1, and Brent just giving in a bit of pressure.
Brent Herron up the inside. Oh, Rossi style, baby.
He does.
Put the leg out, go into
out.
engine corner and gets past Lancelot. So the Black Knight moves into a podium position and closes on the Baron. Oh, he's gone around the outside of Brent Baron. Oh, what is Brent Herron smoking?
See that coming through.
Wow, he certainly has got some good stuff in him this morning and goes through to second place in
From
2 corners.
Fourth in 2 corners, all the way
Place
through to second spot.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, Gooks. Fourth to
Great
second.
stuff by the Black Knight.
So, this is the change-up. We've got the Black Knight into second. Has he got enough now? There's certainly enough laps to get up to Clincella. We've got 8 to go, and as they cross the line, 7. So, at the exact halfway mark of this race right now, 8 out of 16 done and dusted. Into the right-hander now. Whoa, look at how close it's getting here between the Baron and Lancelot. This is the fight for the final podium position, and it's between Ronald Slamet and Lance Isaacs. Cape Town's 2 favorite kids in the house.
So certainly the 2 favorite kids in the house are battling for 3rd position at this moment. I must say, Greg, I'm a little bit confused as to how Roland did not see that coming through. Brent certainly timed it so well to overtake Lance and then immediately use the momentum to go past the Baron.
Well, he got the drive out of turn 2 where they are right now, and he just continued the drive. And I think what happened was there was either a false neutral or a wrong gear selection by Ronald Slamet.
Yeah.
And as they came through the kink, he just powered around the outside and said, I've got
much.
this. Thanks for coming. So, coming into Monster Malmesbury Street, keep an eye out for Evel Knievel himself. Here he comes, up that little short straight. And in second place, it's now the Black Knight. The Black Knight is absolutely hauling. And he's getting away from Ronald Slamet and Isaacs. He's going to leave the 2 Cape Town boys to fight it out for podium and the final podium step.
I must say, at this moment in time, I think, Greg, we also discussed it earlier on in the season. Clinton
Isaacs coming alongside, sorry to jump in, Gooks. Change for 3rd. Isaacs gets past Slamet. Slamet might be having an issue as well, so things certainly taking a bit of a dramatic turn here as that fight for the 3rd spot on the podium heats up.
Certainly not the plan of action that Roland went into this race with, but needless to say, it's still a few more laps to go and lots of actions to still follow. But Greg, as I was saying, looking at Lance as well as Brent was, he had put him under pressure in the previous round, but the one person out of the entire 3, or should I say the entire 4 boys battling now, Clinton Sella is just on another tab. He is certainly a man who's intent on winning a championship and pushing forward.
You think?
His mentality is just so
yeah,
out
I know.
there.
He's in a class of his own. You have to say that, Gooks. But here's a nice little battle a bit further back here. Gerrit Visser fighting for honours for Cape Town as well. Remember, he's a local man.
Yep.
Garrick Flock, man alive. Whatever this kid's done this season, he has certainly got to grips with racing pretty nicely, and he's loving being in the SuperGP Championship. He hasn't shined this much in a long time, and it's great to see a young rider certainly making his way to the front end of what is SuperGP. He's not quite on the same pace as the top 4, but let me tell you, he's not far off it.
Now, certainly, I think it's good to see that there's new blood that's coming into the top series. Obviously, the SuperGPs are the signature class in the championship, but bringing in a bit of action on the track, and we've seen the boys, some of them have made their way from 600, such as Brent, all the way through to the thousands, the SuperGP class, and giving sticks, and also performing up in front.
So up into turn 1, and it's a battle for second place now. Isaac's starting to close in on Herron, and it is definitely looking like he could basically run with Herron. Maybe he wants Herron to lead him up to Evel Knievel. They crossed the line the last time. It was 2.9 seconds. It's down to 2. So Brent Herron is making up 0.8 of a second every single lap. That's enough to get him into contention for a chance of stealing the podium and stealing the honours away from Sella.
Well, hopefully we'll have another photo finish, as we've seen in the 600s. But it seems like a little bit early days. Well, we're crowding down in terms of of laps, rather, as we've gone through lap number 11 as we head on towards number 15.
So first 4 bikes go through Monster Malmesbury Street now, and it's 3 Kawasaki's and a BMW fighting for honours. Look at that. Sella is certainly being closed down. 2.046 seconds on the last pass. Behind them, it's going to be Gerrit Visser and Garrick Flock. That is the battle for what is 4th, 5th, and 6th place. But Brandon Good, just in the background, we're actually going to wait for that. Watch this now as they come down. That's Garrick Flock and Visser. They head down there, but the battle just behind them also intense between the two Yamaha boys, just behind Brandon Good, as they come onto the braking markers, and really tight stuff here between Flock and Visser.
It doesn't matter whether you're fighting for first place or second or third, or a podium finish rather. These guys, they
watch Flock around the outside.
Look at that.
Flock gets good drive, dude. Up against the wall. Oh, I think he realized he was going to hit the wall if he didn't pull in right there. Onto the braking markers into Holzhoek. And Pirelli corner, of course, this weekend. Big Pirelli branding around that corner. And it's all about Flock, who gets even better drive coming out of turn 1. He's unfortunately on the wrong side. Visser knew he was coming. Look at that. Cape Town knowledge coming into the house.
Exactly.
And just keeps the door firmly shut. Doesn't give the youngster a chance to find a way through.
He goes wide a little bit, but he still has a decent drive. Still managed to keep him behind him, and we'll just have to see as to whether he on the main straight again. Look at this.
These two young riders are having an absolutely amazing dash. It's great to see. This is how close it should be at the front end. It usually is, and it's getting there. Here we go.
Here we go.
Look at that. Heron is on a flyer here, dude. Half a second on the last lap. He's now within. Oh, he's in biting range. No, he's in biting range. Never mind, striking. He's going to bite any second now. The Black Knight is on the back end of Evil Knievel. He's going for the lead. He is in the slipstream, and Heron could take the lead down the straight. He comes up alongside his ex-teammate. Hope we got a new man into turn 1. No,
not yet.
Just gets beaten there by Evil Knievel. But Sella knows he is in a battle, and let me tell you, if anybody can get past Sella, this man can. We've seen him beaten once. He's onto the brakes into turn 2. We have a new leader. Oh, what a move there from Heron. He's come from right at the back in 4th place. He's made his way through. He's ticked off the riders one by one. Dylan White, Lance Lambert, Lance Isaacs, and now championship leader and the man who's had an almost perfect season is starting to see the back end of his ex-teammate. And I can tell you something, now that he's there, try and find a way past the Black Knight, dude.
No, certainly the Black Knight is all fired up, and he's trying to retain that position in first position. And as we close down in terms of lap-wise, we've just gone through lap number 12, but needless to say, the action is still plenty right now on the track as they make their way towards
It's 1 corner and 2 laps to go, Googs. Into Cape Town corner. As they cross the line, they're going to be on their penultimate lap. So Brent Heron could have timed this to perfection. Hopefully he's done everything right. It looks like his Kawasaki certainly has got what it takes here in the second half of the race. And Sella, well, he's been found wanting. Let me tell you something. Sella didn't realize that Heron was coming that fast. The boards would have told him that, but you know what? When you go down that main straightaway, you stood there yesterday, they come past you at 220 k's an hour. How do you spot a board at 220?
You can't. And normally, I mean, with the cars, at least you do have a bit of telemetry and well, speakers that you can talk to your team with. But in this case, the bikers, that doesn't happen. You have to rely on pit boards.
Pit boards is the only signal that happens, exactly. And now they come through the sweep, heading down towards Discover Digital. Whoa, Heron's sliding. Heron is sliding, so I think Sella would have seen that and said, okay, if I apply pressure, maybe I can get that lead back again. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. They head up towards Monster Malmesbury. It's Brent Heron who leads things out. He's going to try and go back-to-back with victories here. Remember, it was Evil Knievel for the first 3 races. 2 at Makisa, 1 at Red Star. Then Heron took the 4th race.
Yes.
Heron is now trying to go back-to-back from Red Star here to Western Cape. And a slower rider, there's Ryan van Arsvegen. They go around the gym. Auto Kawasaki of van Arsvegen. He moves completely out the way. And we're about to start. Oh my goodness! What a way to start the final lap. Heron, what are you doing, dude? You've got about, oh man, that is just insane. Brent Heron, how did you hang on to that? And will he keep the lead? Heron's going to try and hang on to the lead. No, he's not. Oh, Jesus. Can I get the heart out of my head and out of my mouth, please? Because that was a massive moment for Brent Heron.
He's going to regret that all the time when he sees it on the replay as well. So unfortunate.
Can you handle that, dude? He's still got half a lap to go here into 3 of 5. Oh, man, what are you doing, Brent? Come on, dude. He is certainly going to kick himself if that's a mistake that costs him the race win. But he's not giving up. Look at him. He is forcing that Kawasaki, and he is pushing hard, as is Isaacs. Isaacs realizes that if something happens between these two Kawasaki's, he can take the win. This is what it's all about. This is what Super GP is, and this is how it's going to stay all the time. Double right-hander into Monster Malmesbury, and it is a battle royal. Watch for the outbreaking maneuvers.
See what happens
expected at the end of the straight.
Lance is getting into the action as well, Greg. The front riders, I mustn't forget about him as well. He's still effective in this race. Here we go. Does he take it?
Heron's gone in through the middle. He threaded the needle, got through both riders. Senna goes up to the inside. Senna's got the inside. What's the drive now? Isaacs is going to try and outgun the Heron Kawasaki. Here they come. Versus Portable Shade. They're going to come to the line. Senna's going to hang on. Oh, you can see the disappointment there. Man alive.
He is upset.
Herron
Certainly
is
knows it
fuming.
could have been his.
He knows he made a mistake. Brent Herron could have taken the victory, but it's gone to Evel Knievel. And what an awesome race start here for the weekend for Super GPs. Isaacs is on the podium. So K-Town, you got to be happy about that. The unhappiest man on the circuit right now is the Black Knight.
Oh, the Black Knight. Twice he lost the lead. But a fantastic action for us here to be able to witness this. Certainly Clinton Sella just said, hey, let me stay calm, put the man under pressure, and let him shake. And at least Lance Arnsock, local boy, has managed to grab the spoils in third position. But a fantastic battle that ensued in Super GPs with Clinton Sella taking victory from the Black Knight himself, Brent Herron, who will be definitely kicking himself and will want to make up for that mistake that he made. In fact, not just one mistake, but rather two that cost him the lead. He went into the lead, into the last corner, but then lost it when he came out of it, which is quite a great pity. But a fantastic ride by Clinton Sella, standing up on his bike, waving and saying, yeah, boy, yes, this is my victory today, leading the proceedings in race 1 of the Super GP, taking race victory as the riders make the way through.
Right, so here we go to line up on the start. Evel Knievel goes and takes up his position on pole. Alongside him, Slam It, Isaacs. Front row, 2 Cape Town boys and a Gauteng-based rider, and this is what it's all about for race 2. Wait for that green flag at the back. Final man to take up his position was Brent Herron, and that's the man I'm going to put my money on for this time. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the predictions are going to be like. Lights are out, we're racing. Slam didn't get a jump start this time. He got it to perfection and heads down into turn 1 in the lead. Whole shotting with Isaacs in second. It's Cape Town 1 and 2. Third place is Sella, but around his outside comes Brent Herron, and Herron might sneak through right from the word go.
Fantastic start by the Cape Town boys, as you've seen, Greg, as you rather said. Slavitt is in the lead, followed by Lance, as well as second, Sella, and third, rather, Sella, as they head into the engine bend.
Engine bend is Brent Herron in 4th place with Dylan White on his tail. White looking to close down. Remember, he's had to make up lots of ground. He currently sits down a long way in this championship, down in 8th place. So with an up and down season and some problems on that portable shake Kawasaki, it's now time for him to turn the season around. He's already had issues in race 1. Hopefully they won't be a problem for him in race 2. On his tail is Nicky Swinwell, another Cape Town rider with Robert Portman, his teammate behind him, Garrett Flock. Not getting the same kind of start we saw at Flock in race number 1. He is now being hounded and actually finding it very difficult to find a way past. Here comes Garrett Fisser as well. Another good rider on a Kawasaki. We've got 5 Kawasaki's and a BMW at the front end. 1 Yamaha just off the back of them in front of Alt's hands, and the second Yamaha in Portman's hands a bit further back.
Yes, at this moment in time, Roland Slavitt proceeding over the finish line for the first lap, as well as followed by Clinton Sella, as well as Lance, as we see a bit of a slight little wiggle over there, Greg.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that. Dylan White again, and he's run wide because of it. So whatever the issue was on that bike, it doesn't look like it's sorted out. Dylan White is still looking down. He had a big squirrely moment coming into turn 1, and well, it doesn't seem to be affecting him into turn 2. Let's keep an eye on that number 23 bike, the second of the portable shake Kawasaki's, and White certainly in with some problems. The front end, Slam It has decided, you know what, it's time to get away. It's time to lose the toe and not give any opportunities to Sella to try and find a way past me. Remember, he passed him going through turn 4 there, or turn 3 I should say, and this time out it's Sella who's looking to go through into 4. Monster Mom 3 could happen. No, not quite close enough.
Not today.
Slam It is under massive pressure.
Now, certainly under massive pressure, but the interesting thing is that Black Knight himself, Brent Herron, is sitting in the back just watching everybody as we see the lead changing slightly. See as to whether Sella will have enough Vuma to be able to go past Slamet, but Slamet still takes the proceedings into the corner.
He's talking
takes
about
the lead,
Vuma,
rather.
He's talking about Vuma. Look at the Vuma that Slamet had down that back straight away.
Vuma.
I thought Sella would come up alongside him and get past. He wasn't able to do it. Isaac's hanging on to keep Dylan White out. Brent Herron a little bit off the back right now, but watch him start to tick the riders off. Remember, as they go in to the closing stages of this race, it's a 16-lapper, so it takes a long time to get things sorted out, and Herron nearly timed it to perfection in race 1. So if he does the same thing, has the same race plan in race 2, good possibility we might see him at the front by the end of the race.
No, you're certainly right. Brent Herron seems to bite his time in the initial early stages of the race, and then he clips the guys one by one, as we've seen in Red Star as well as race 1 earlier on this afternoon. So but at the moment, of course, it's a Cape Town Boykie, Mr.
Just check it out. Third place change up, Cooks. I wanted to catch your attention there.
Yeah.
Isaacs has got through. Isaac has gone to third place. White down to fourth. Here comes Aaron for fourth place. Aaron might sneak through at the end of the straight. Watch out for 23 and 77. Those two riders certainly going to be pushing each other to the limit on the brakes as they get to the bottom of the straight. Van der Walt, wow, and Gerard Visser. Visser hanging on to Flock. They're losing a little bit of ground to the first five. Seller goes on the inside. Oh, you know what, dude? He is just letting Slamit have his day in the sunshine. But I don't think he's going to let him have the win.
No, not quite, Greg. It's not going to be easy, as you see Lance just dropping back one position. I say it's not too early, it's not too late, rather. It's still early days in the race, as we see Slamit leading Seller into turn one. As we see Lance coming back into third position.
Yeah, Dylan White, the gambler, losing out to Lancelot as they came back into turn one. So it's shopping and changing for third place. Isaacs with a little squirrel. Oh, a little bit of out the seat moment as well. Sure, here comes fourth place. Oh, man, alive. Harron had a big look. Dylan White saw him coming and said, no, spank you. Yeah,
not
coming
today, not
no
today.
Way.
But needless to say, as I said, folks, Brandon Harron is just biding his time, saying, all right, boys, you guys, let me put you under pressure, make some mistakes, I'll be coming through for you shortly, as they make their way to Marmelsbury.
No doubt about it, Gooks. I've got to tell you, Brandon Harron, looking at the lap times, Harron's into the 112 deads. That's second fastest lap so far, and it's looking at Clint Seller as the third fastest lap. So in fact, the way things are going now, Slamit has the fastest lap of the race so far. That means it's a new lap record there with a 12.017. Looking at the way things are going now, that is definitely going to be quicker than the first lap set by Clint Seller in race one. But the battle's not done. Seller and Slamit are at each other's throats. Waiting in the sidelines, though, is Lance Isaacs. A little bit off there right now is the battle for third and fourth, or fourth place, I should say, between White and Harron.
Now, certainly Harron will be biting some, but at the same time, the one person that looks like he's really intent on winning and walking away with a victory today is Slamit in the front. But the quick question is, can he hold it out for the entire race? We saw so many positions changing in race one, and I doubt to see that Slamit will be able to stay all the way through out the race from flag to the end.
Looking right, looking centre, looking for a way over the top. I think is the only way he's going to be able to find a chance here.
In between.
Yeah, no, there's no way through on the Red Baron when he's in this kind of fighting mode. He is in his hometown. He's got massive support on the sideline. Seller looks back just to see where Lancelot might be in case he's climbed in closer. Let me confirm that for you, Clint Seller. He's right there, buddy. Keep your eyes on the rear view. Get them into the back of your helmet, because here comes Lancelot. And right behind him comes the 23, his teammate. Here we go.
Lance
Isaacs around the outside, looking for a way past on Seller. Seller's good on the brakes though. Lance can't keep him, and it's to just tuck in behind. So it's extremely close there as Isaacs tucks in behind Seller, brings them behind and Rick Harron a little bit closer to the first two riders.
Slamit still leading the train of three boys as we see them heading out to conclude this lap, followed by Seller as well as Lancelot in the
11 laps to go, 5 down, 11 to go. Goods as they came across the line there. So it's all about Ronald Slamit keeping out Clint Seller. Dylan White now moving up ahead. Can he get ahead? Yes, he can. A little mistake from Lancelot, and Harron's going to go with him too. No, not quite.
Not yet.
Harron had a big look, but just couldn't quite stick it up the inside of Lance Isaacs.
Lance will probably having a bit of issues, perhaps missed a bit of concentration on that last bend, but I'm sure he'll make, as we see Seller trying out to go through Slamit. Not this time around. Slamit says closes the door on him as they head out towards Marmelsbury onto the back straight. The big question is, will Seller be able to get through it? But of late you can see Slamit getting a lot of good drive all the way down the back straight, and unfortunately under braking it seems as if he's also as good as Seller is. Heading into the corner. Let's see.
Watch for the outbreaking maneuvers here. Watch for Dylan White as well. He's coming up very, very close there to his teammate. Running the shotgun roll right now, right on his teammate's tail. Looking to keep the rest of the field out. And really for the front three Kawasaki's. 4 Kawasaki's with the man in 5th place, of course. But it's one lone BMW fighting out with these green monsters at the front end. And these ZX-10s certainly have got a great turn of pace. Second and third, big move up the inside there from Dylan White. But Googs, you've seen it 3 or 4 times into turn 3 there. The Discover Digital and Rose Foundation sweep. Seller's had a look. He might have to find another way through, because I think Slamit realizes that he lost the position in race 1 there. Yeah. So he's not going to give up that position again in the same corner.
Now this time around he seems to be intent to be keeping that position throughout the rest of the race. And let's just hope he'll be able to manage the pressure as well, as we see Seller just getting closer and closer to him and putting him under pressure as they go through towards Marmelsbury. And again, it'll just have to be interesting to see as to whether Senna will be able to force Slummett into a bit of a mistake and obviously take over that lead.
We come out of Monster Monfrey down the back straight. Dylan White closing in on his teammate. Harron closing in on Isaacs. Harron is now starting to look a little bit dangerous. Looking at the lap times, let's see what he was doing in the last lap. His last lap was a 12.2. Change up for Dylan White though into second as he sneaks ahead of his team. That's the first time today, and probably the first time this weekend that he's bettered his teammates. So nothing wrong with that. No, Dylan White looking to sort things out here and change his luck a little bit. Dylan White, if he goes to the front, but let me tell you, the Gambler's a difficult man to pass, and he's in the lead.
That's it.
Dylan White is at the front for the first time, runs a little wide coming out of turn one, but he manages to hang on. White is on a flyer here. Ladies and gents, we have a new contender in the SuperGP class, and his name is Dylan White. Portable Shade Kawasaki now 1 and 2 as Sella gets through, so that wasn't a bad effort. You know what they did there? White got through on Slammit, and you know what? He opened up the door and gave an opportunity to his teammate to catch Slammit asleep, and Slammit was found out very much asleep, as was Isaacs as Harron got through.
Now, certainly Harron making his way through, saying, right, boys, it's time to rock and roll, and let me come through. I'm knocking onto that podium position, so here I am. Brent Harron making a bit of maneuver going forward, as we see Sir Lancelot dropping back in that battle. But at the moment, right in the front, Sella's coming through on the outside.
Sella around the outside, can he make it stick? Yes, he can. His teammate opens up the door there. Good possibility that there's a bit of team play coming into
team orders.
No doubt about it. I wouldn't say team orders, but definitely team play. He's now opened up an opportunity for his teammate to get through, and he's going to hold the rest of them up. Look at how Dylan goes defensive on Slammit. Slammit comes on his inside, looking for turn one. And on the inside comes Brent Harron. Now he hangs on to the back of Ronald Slammit, looking for a way through. He's got to get past Slammit. Slammit is certainly holding up the rest of this field and giving an opportunity for both Sella and Dylan White to open up a small margin. But Ronald Slammit now under pressure from Brent Harron as he comes up onto the brakes and goes
there
through.
He goes through.
Harron's through.
Brent has just managed to get through Slammit, and he's making his intent to move forward into position in order to challenge for the lead, obviously. But at this moment in time, he's lying in third position. And behind him, we've got Slammit as well as Lancelot just taking up the straps. But leading the proceedings at the moment is, of course, Sella, followed by himself, Dylan White, the Gambler, as you call him.
Yes, indeed, that is his nickname. Dylan White, the Gambler, now in second place behind Evil Knievel. But it's the Black Knight I'm concerned about. Googs, I mentioned the fact that he was going to be up there. We have a new lap record set on that previous lap from Clint Sella, an 11.9.
There we go, the Black Knight coming through, second place.
I did say watch out for him. I was just trying to pick up what his lap time was. His previous lap was a 12.8. So he's only 0.1 of a second off the time that's been set by Sella. Sella's going to have to drop the hammer now. He has to get away. He's got to try his best to get away from Brent Harron. And you can see in the background, Lancelot has decided also, time to turn the wick up and let's go hunting for this King of Killarney crown.
It's amazing how the Gambler has moved all the way from the front, and now he's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment. And then it seems like Sella is leading, and obviously Brent is putting him under pressure rather, to say, right, it's time to rock and roll and move forward. I hope this time around he will not be making the mistakes he made earlier on.
Certainly not, Gooks. Look at this though. Check how close he's getting there as they come up onto the braking markers into turn 3. It's going to be extremely close there between Harron now has got his sights set firmly on Sella. He's not going to make the same mistake, that I can tell you. He is certainly going to hang on for dear life and give an opportunity for Sella to be under massive pressure as we head into the closing stages here.
At this time, we see the Gambler also falling away from the battle at this moment in time. Sella leading Harron at this moment, followed by Slummit, the Cape Town boy Slummit, as well as Lancelot.
Did you see that flick over, Gooks? Harron was almost up the rear end and through the exhaust pipe of the Kawasaki. On the back wheel now coming out, didn't get a good drive. Lancelot with a bit of a squirrel as they come onto the main straight. Look at how close it is. 1 and 2 split by almost nothing, I can tell you, as they crossed that line. Last time it was 0.4 of a second. I'm telling you now, it might be a little bit more because we did see a small mistake out of Harron coming out of Cape Town again, but he'll close in on him again and look for an opportunity to see what's going to happen at the front end of this battle. Remember, there's still a battle royal just behind us between Gerard Visser, Brandon Good and Nicholas van der Walt, and they are also extremely close.
Certainly, Greg, it's exciting racing as we've seen. It's 10 laps down already. And a lot of action and a lot of changes that you had in the front end. But at the moment, Sella is leading Harron, followed by the local Cape Town boys.
Well, he has the other battle on track, of course. That is the two Yamahas. The M-Tech Brother Racing Yamaha R1s. It's Van der Walt that leads out his teammate Portman. The the two teammates having a nice little battle as they come through the kink and into the Discover Digital corner. Van der Volta, unfortunately, is still sitting behind Brandon Good and Carrot Visser. So Carrot Visser has had a super day in the saddle. There's Goody. Brandon Good on the CJ Auto Kawasaki, getting away from the two Yamahas. It's a nice little battle between these two Yamahas, though, I've got to say. Portman is going to be a bit concerned, but remember, it is Van der Volt's home track, so he has got a slight advantage on Portman.
Greg, it's actually quite great to see that there's battle royales throughout the field in this category. It's not just in the front, but also in mid-pack as we see the boys.
Bobby Idle rocking and rolling down into Cape Town corner, runs a bit wide, as does Flock. Is that Flock? Yes, it is. No, that's Dylan White.
Dylan White.
Dylan White is right out of it. What has gone wrong with what? Not again.
Not again.
Not again. This poor kid is just having an absolute mare of a season so far. Look at the disappointment. You can actually see it through that arrow visor. He is not a happy camper. And that is going to be very, very costly for his championship. He's already out down in 8th place. He's lost points in race 1. He's losing points in race 2. He's dropping away from a potential 1, 2, 3 here for Kawasaki. But 1 and 2 are still Kawasaki's. 3rd place is still the 3rd Kawasaki. But it's Lance Isaacs who's putting the pressure onto his fellow Capetonian and onto the braking markers. Turn up and a change up for the lead. Yes, indeed. Amazing stuff there from Brent Herron. Hits the front and gets ahead. Now, can he keep this? We've got about 4 laps to go as they cross the line this time. It's 12 to be completed as they cross the line. 4 to go. Looks like we're going to be in for some amazing 4 laps of racing, Gooks.
Now, certainly, Greg, I think this time around, the Herron is going to make sure as they go into turn 1, almost side by side, but Brent Herron keeps the lead, and let Sella follow suit as they head out towards engine at this moment.
So Herron is under pressure now from Sella. Sella's teammate is in pit lane. We're going to try and catch up with him. Change up for the lead again. Sella gets through on Herron. Herron, no worries at all. Comes straight. Oh, hello! Can we put some knee down on the dirt? That is what it's all about. Jeez, this is incredible racing. Some of the best we've seen. And once again, it has not done and dusted just yet. Let's go down to Ricky. She's waiting in pit lane, though, to pick up on the action as to what happened with Dylan White. Right, so at the front end into Monster Malmesbury, it is a battle royal for the lead. Look in the background. Isaacs has got through on the Red Baron. So the two Capetonians fighting for honours here. Here comes Herron. Herron on the brakes. Oh, no,
not this time.
You know what, bud? That's setting it up.
He's setting it up, buddy.
He's setting it up, dude.
Looking at it. Sarah, right, where are you braking, buddy?
Right, so we're going out to Ricky Bress with Dylan White in pit lane.
Dylan, you started off so well. What are you doing? What happened?
I don't know, it just seems to have an electrical problem there or some sort of trouble with, obviously when I'm on the straights it's not giving full power and it's turned into a bit of a hazard. I nearly got taken out by Lance there, so yeah, if I didn't have bad luck, we didn't have luck at all. So yeah, look, try to turn our season around, yeah, and it's just didn't work into our hands. So
well, very disappointing, but you know that there's potential for next time, so don't worry.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of the next time now. I want it to happen.
Yeah, big pity there for you, Dylan. Unfortunately, that's what happens, dude. It's part of motorcycle racing. We know that luck is going to turn around, dude. Hang in there. The gambler, we know your luck is coming your way some point this season. Right, so leaders coming into Monster Malmesbury. Herron has shown a wheel every now and again. He's actually got to the front for a couple of times as well, but he hasn't quite got what it takes to sort things out. But I can tell you something, he has got the lap record right now. He does? It's in the hands of Herron, even though he's in second place. An 11.848 is one of the quickest laps we've seen out of anybody in this particular one. So let's see whether or not he can hang on to it.
Now Herron is certainly intent on getting that first place, and I'm sure he's just sizing up Sella to say, right, where am I going to overtake you? As we see the Cape Town boys as well further on, just battling it out for 3rd and 4th. But at the moment, Sella leads the proceedings.
I will confirm that it's a lap record for this race only. The lap from Clint Sella of an 11.486 is the official one, of course, and now he goes and puts in the fastest lap of this particular race as well. So he's got lap records in both races. Let's see if he's able to keep it now. But more importantly for Brent Herron, he doesn't worry about lap records, dude. He wants the big trophy.
It's all about the big trophy as well as the points that come with it. So he's been timing.
Sella's under pressure, dude. Look at how he came out of the kink. He was completely out the saddle. Knee was bumping on the ground. He didn't have a smooth line. That's why he's looking back.
Look at that.
He knows he's under pressure. He knows he's in a battle. The war is not over yet.
As they go into the back straight to Herron, hounding Sella. Seems as if he got some good drive, and let's see as to whether can he outbrake him into the hairpin at the bottom. It's flat steps. Sella closes the door on the left. Says no,
Around
buddy,
the
you have to go outside.
Come on!
Can he keep it? Not
That
quite.
is unbelievable stuff. Tried to go around the outside. He did. He certainly did. He tried hard.
He gave it
right,
all,
so
indeed.
we're going to come into our final lap. It is 1 to go.
1 to go.
Okay, ladies and gents, put your money where your mouths are, because it's now time to say, is it going to be 1 or 7-7 to win out this one?
I think this time around, Greg, I'm certainly rooting for 7-7. This young man, unfortunately, didn't have a good first race this morning, but today he's certainly giving it horns, and I'm sure
It was only a small
he's
mistake
going to
that
try
cost him,
out.
Duke. So only a small mistake that cost him. Let's see whether or not he can get a mistake out of our almost perfected championship leader, Sella.
He hardly makes mistakes, and this time around, as we can see,
Once again,
power
big bumps.
adjustment.
Running wide into 3. Getting out and onto the power now, up the little short straight, up towards Monster Mountain. This is what he's got to do. He's got to be in the
Keep it
slipstream.
together. That's
Keep it right under the wheel, in the exhaust pipe if you can get in there. Come on, Brent. This is what it's all about. Super GP about to come to a very dramatic conclusion. Down the back straight. He's in the slipstream. He is extremely close to the back end of Senna. Senna's gone defensive. He's holding the inside line. Come on, Brent. Around the outside. Can he make it stick? He's going to cut it close. Watch him cut the apex. He's going to try and get the drive. It's a drag race to the line now. Senna versus Aaron. I think Senna's going to have it. Yes, it's just going to be enough. Clint Sella, another victory on the day. Greg Herron, what a valiant effort from the Black Knight. Evil Knievel wins out again. It's another victory for him this season. What an awesome run this man is having. He is really a dominant factor in the Super GP. Herron is extremely ecstatic, much better than what he was, you can see, in race number 1.
Greg,
certainly a lot happier.
Yeah.
But he knows he was in a battle. He had a chance. He should have gone around the outside when he had it on that second last lap. Lance Isaacs, though, will come through for 3rd place. A super effort from him. And Ronald Slammett comes through for 4th. 5th place is going to go to Gerrit Visser. What an awesome run from Visser. That is certainly his top run in National Championship racing, that is for sure. And we look forward to speaking him on the podium. I'm going to head down there now, Googs. I'll leave you to it.
As we see Sella right now doing a bit of a burnout for the crowd and say thank you very much. It's been a great day. It's been his show after all. Certainly a great outing for him today. Pinning it to 2 events, 2 wins rather, and showcasing to the crowd that, hey, I'm not riding with number 1 for no reason. I've got the goods and I'm bringing them on. Despite my little mistake out at Red Star, here we are today with a double win. Let's see if we can just wave out at him. Doing a great stuff. Here he is, it comes out. Hey, Sella! There we go, buddy. Well done, as he is. What to do the burnout. Woo! Sella doing the burnout right here in front of our commentary box, giving us a high five, saying thank you, gentlemen. It's been an honor. As you mentioned, folks, all these riders bidding it and showcasing to everybody, doing wheelies all the way up the straight. And there goes Sella again, saying how's it to everybody and showcasing, celebrating in style here at the Super GP event in Cape Town, as we see the fans waving in excitement as well, saying thank you very much for bringing some of these wonderful action right here to the coast in the mother city. The whole track is very smoky at this moment in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your podium and your top 3-4 riders from the Monster Super GP. Yeah, baby.
No, it was an excellent day. It was just actually awesome that we had such great racing. You know, I always love a race where I can get away, but today the boys were on it, and I think that just showed for everyone here that came out today. Big attendance. You know, I tried to do as many burnouts as I could to just show the appreciation to all the people and everyone that comes out and supports our sport, which is the main thing.